I think you have to look at yourself as a company, industry, your product, your customers, and then decide what parts of sustainability do I want to work with. Is it focus on climate change? Is it focus on chemicals in the materials? Is it focus on creating products that are sustainable? Is it focus on products that helps your customers to live a more sustainable life? So there are many things that you could sort of take out of an analysis like that. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. So analyze your business, look into the areas that you feel this is where we can have the highest impact. Set up some, I would say, audacious goals, because audacious goals helps you to progress. So it's not incremental, it has to be sort of bigger steps. I don't know if it's in Sweden we have sort of a saying, if you reach for the moon, you can reach, at least you would reach the treetops. I don't know if it's an English one, but it says, I mean, if you have high ambitions, you at least come a certain way towards them. So I think that you should do. And then set up a basic plan for how to come there. So you could make it project-based, you could include innovation, hire, if you can, some competences within these areas. Probably you don't need a general sustainability competence there, but more specific in the areas that you have defined that you want to work with. Step by step. I think the most important thing is that the leadership of the company stands behind it and drives it, the sustainability initiatives. Because without that, it's hard to get through. Of course, I'm interested in technology as an engineer, but I think curiosity is the thing that has helped me the most. And not being afraid of failure. So curiosity and not being afraid of failure, I think, has helped me a lot in innovating, trying to find new solutions, being interested in how technologies could be applied into different contexts that is perhaps they weren't meant for in the beginning, but you bring them into a context and you try them out, you're curious, you sort of test, learn, move forward. It's probably one of the most important things. To think that you can achieve all of what you want yourself is probably just taking you a short bit on the way here. But if you engage with other companies, with other competences, with other perspectives, other input to a solution, you will find so much better solutions than if you do it yourself. To be open, to be curious, to listen and not have sort of determined views on what the solution should look like. If you go into that with an open mind, you bring in partners and collaborate with them. The solution in my world is much better than if you do it yourself. So find the right partners with the right competence. Hopefully they're not like you. They're totally opposite, because that's when the dynamic comes into the discussion or the work. And the outcome is often very, very good. We collaborated with many companies in IKEA. We created a new business model. When we built sort of the energy business, the clean energy service business, we had no idea about how such a business would look like. We only had an idea about we want to include our customers on the climate journey that we have taken as a company. How do we do that in the best way? So one of the ideas we had was to start selling or providing the opportunity to our customers to produce their own renewable energy. So we started to do that, tested sort of how can we install solar panels on the rooftops of customers' homes. And it went well. We could never have done that ourselves. So we worked with solar panel manufacturers. We worked with solar panel installers. We worked with companies with digital infrastructures that we didn't have. We worked with distribution companies and customers. We created sort of workshops with customers and consumers and cities to just get all that type of input that we needed to create a business model and a new business for us that could be successful. If we'd been sitting in a room in IKEA and designing it ourselves, it wouldn't be alive today. You need three things to be, or four. First thing is when you want to innovate, you need to hire some crazy people. There's a lot of crazy people out there. But I wanted them. So when I sort of went out with ads, it was sort of expressed in a way that would attract people who wanted to change the world. It's a lot about purpose. Where do you have your purpose as an individual, and how do you want to express that purpose, and in what type of environment do you want to work in? So it was a lot about that. You need to bring in people that are crazy enough to believe that they can change the world. So if you don't believe that you can change the world or want to change the world, you will not do it. But the people who are crazy enough to think that and has a passion for it, bring them in. Secondly, you need to create a culture of innovation, which means that you have you put the crazy people in an environment where everything is more or less allowed. So all ideas no idea is wrong. So you only build on each other's ideas. You have a process internally where you start somewhere, you end somewhere totally different. Sort of a psychological safe place for people to be, to express themselves, to express their ideas, and based on a goal that we have set up. The third thing is to keep them there. So I call it the period of deceptive disappointment. When it's too crazy, people are laughing at you. Most people leave then because it's will not work. So have a way of keeping them there, getting them to work on these ideas and to develop it. 8 will not work. The 2 that will pay back every time that you've spent and all the money that you spent there. And all of that. So that's a creative process by people who are not like everyone else. And to keep it in order in a way, you then need quite a strict process with milestones and with parameters that we need to pass to be able to go to the next step. And those can be different for every project. So we had quite a strict process for what every phase of the process was very creative. But when you came to this needle eye, you needed to be specific. And then we opened up again, and then you came to the next needle eye, and then we opened up again. And without that, it would just have been chaos. But now we created a way of working where it was chaos, 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 and then we went specific, and then opened up again. So I think you need to have both to be able to be successful in innovation.